So you see Pat Robertson, all the people saying Obama is invincible, he's good, nothing can stop him. That's a mind game. They want to make you give up and think you can't beat them. These guys are in trouble. They know they're crooks. They know they're trying to set up a world government. They know the people are waking up that they're robbing us. So he's coming out saying, hey, we're not going to let you hurt the economy. We're invincible. And then he suddenly gets into terrorism, as if you're not for taking over the global carbon tax, you're with terrorists.
The specter of a warming planet. We will not apologize for our way of life, nor will we waver in its defense. And for those who seek to advance their aims by inducing terror and slaughtering innocents.
Did you hear that? He says we're going to have global warming tax. And then he says, and we won't let you stop our way of life when this will kill our way of life. And then he goes into terrorism. This is hardcore mind control, ladies and gentlemen.
We say to you now that our spirit is stronger and cannot be broken. You cannot outlast us, and we will defeat you.
We will defeat your new world order. We will expose the globalists. We're going to defeat you. We're going to expose your lies and show everybody what a liar you are.
For we know that our patchwork heritage is a...
Did you hear that, mind control? We know our patchwork heritage, making everybody think of every group as me. We know. See, it's you're with me. It's just all programming. See how they're doing that, guys, in there in the control room? I mean, this is psychological warfare.
Is a strength, not a weakness.
See, we know we have strength.
We are a nation of Christians and Muslims, Jews and Hindus, and non-believers.
And see, now if you don't agree with him, you're against Christians, Jews, Muslims, Hindus. See, it's just all, this whole thing, it's unbelievable. Never seen such lies and deception and twisting.
Non-believers. We are shaped by every language and culture, drawn from every end of...
We're a nation of believers. So see, now you're an atheist if you don't agree with Obama. I mean, this is incredible. He's saying the people that are against us are terrorists. They want to hurt the earth. They're against Muslims, Christians, Jews, Hindus. They're holding us back. They caused all these bad things to happen. When these guys openly did it all and brag about it.
Every end of this earth. And because we have tasted the bitter swill of civil war and segregation and emerged from that dark chapter stronger and more united, we cannot help but believe that the old hatreds shall someday pass, that the lines of tribes shall soon dissolve, that as the world grows smaller...
But see, when he says the lines of tribes, they actually play groups off against each other. They mean world government stopping anybody having sovereignty.
As the world grows smaller, our common humanity shall reveal itself, and that America must play its role in ushering in a new era of peace.
That means world government.
To the Muslim world, we seek a new way forward based on mutual interest.
Did he say anything about Gaza? Does he say anything about the thousands of people, tens of thousands, targeted under the Patriot Act and non-terror-related cases in prison right now? Is he saying anything about the... No, he's doing nothing. More lies, more false promises, more betrayal.
Mutual interest and mutual respect. To those leaders around the globe who seek to sow conflict or blame their society's ills on the West, know that your people will judge you on what you can build, not what you destroy.
Oh, as you put sanctions on them, and as the U.S., the people that control the U.S., I don't want to be in that paradigm, stage terror attacks in Iran, and do all of that? You mean that? And overthrow their country over and over again? You mean that?
To those who cling to power through corruption and deceit and the silencing of dissent.
Corruption and deceit. Blagojevich, the guy who was going to have head up the Department of Commerce, Governor Bill Richardson having to step down. All these corrupt people in his administration, his new Treasury head that he wants, doesn't pay taxes. It's big mafia Chicago machine merged with the big foundations of the New World Order. Corruption, you're telling everybody. See, this is doublespeak. It's all. If his speech was about world unity, he would just say, I want to work with all of you in the world. We're all going to be friends. We're not going to attack you anymore. Instead, it's, how dare you want division? How dare you cause all the problems? How dare you be corrupt? He's hyping everybody up to hate the rest of the world and go out and attack whoever he aims at. I mean, do you see I've never seen a speech with this much deception and evil. And when folks post this at prisonplanet.tv, it's live streaming right now, our analysis. I hope all of you make sure this video goes viral. it'll probably be 10, 15 parts. We're going to come back, continue with this. We're about 80% through. Stay with us. This is key. For the last hour and 30 minutes, I've been going piece by piece through the lies, deception, twisting, semantical deception, mind control of Barack Obama's speech yesterday, seconds after he became the 44th president-elect. No longer elect, but in office. And just as we exposed Bill Clinton and George Bush and Barack Obama, folks, they work for the same people, same agenda. Okay, let's go back to we're now going to go back to analyzing Barack Obama that we did in the first hour and a half. So here we go.
Know that you are on the wrong side of history, but that we will extend a hand if you are willing to unclench your fist.
That means to Iran and everybody else do exactly what the UN says. Let the world government run all your countries, rogue nations, i.e. nations that are under their control, whether they're good, bad, or indifferent. We're not saying what these countries are. We're not judging them as the good guys and the globalists the bad guys. They're all pretty much bad guys. The point here is that, you know, you do what we say and then we'll rule you. Or you're going to get it.
To the people of poor nations, we pledge to work alongside you to make your farms flourish and let clean waters flow.
Yeah, that means force in genetically modified food to the IMF and World Bank and United Nations, World Health Organization, the forced sterilizations, the inoculations, the villagers all over Asia, Africa, Latin America run when the UN trucks come with shots. They pay the local governments to hold them at machine gun point and inject them. The women that have babies spontaneously abort. It's all on record, mainstream news. That's the help that's coming with the food to the third world. We have State Department Memorandum 200. We have the Club of Rome documents. We have the Royal Commission on Population, where the governments of the world admit they're really exterminating these third world populations.
To nourish starved bodies and feed hungry minds. And to those nations like ours that enjoy relative plenty, we say we can no longer afford indifference to the suffering outside our borders.
Now, what that means is doubling and tripling UNICEF and the UN, IMF, and World Bank funding, so more of our tax money going to carry out the eugenics operations in the name of saving the children.
Outside our borders, nor can we consume the world's resources without regard to effect. For the world has changed, and we must change with it.
Yeah, the bankers are bringing in the world government. It has changed, and we must change with it. We've got to be futuristic. We've got to do what they say.
As we consider the road that unfolds before us, we remember with humble gratitude.
The world that unfolds. These guys have engineered the hellhole we're going into. But it's like, oh, it's unfolding. We got to go into the future.
Those brave Americans who, at this very hour, patrol far-off deserts and distant mountains.
See, so he ties looking to the future, being optimistic with the troops in all these evil wars. Again, we're not even attacking those individual troops. It's that these wars are evil. 3 million dead Iraqis, 1.5 million just since the 5.5-year occupation, 1.5 million before that, in the siege known as the sanctions.
In mountains. They have something to tell us, just as the fallen heroes who lie in Arlington whisper through the ages.
See, now, if you're not for Obama, you're against those that lie in Arlington, all those little white crosses, all those tombstones, all those stars of David, all those crescents, all those dead Americans. They're out there in Arlington, and you get with my agenda or you're against them. You know, you get with the troops fighting overseas or you're against the dead who supposedly fought for liberty and freedom, but they've set up a tyranny in Iraq.
We honor them not only because they are the guardians of our liberty, but because they...
The guardians of our liberty. They're announcing they're going to use the U.S. military against the American people to suppress the population while the government does everything that's diametrically opposed to the people's will, the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence.
Because they embody the spirit of service. A willingness...
Now we're getting into the spirit of service. Get everybody hyped up. Talk about soup kitchens. Then bait and switch with forced domestic military force. Because little yuppies don't want to go out fight overseas. They'll be suppressing you. All the Eddie Haskells, all the control freaks, all the know-it-alls running your life on every corner. Little secret police commissar pimps. They're openly setting it up.